Okay, just before lunch, I think. So we will have a short overview what we as Openway see as the payment evolution. So we are more talking about the customer-centric, if you look from a bank's perspective. Now, Openway is a company with more than 110 clients. We say, 112 because it's a nice figure. It's a little bit more. We are based all over the world, so we have offices in Europe, where our main headquarters is. We have an office in Middle East, in Dubai. We are also in Asia, Africa, and also in the US. Now, here you see a few of the names of our clients. As you can see, certainly the Levant and the Middle East, it's quite good represented. You see on the bottom line some clients who are based in Eastern and Western Europe, like Raiffeisen Group. We have Comdata in the US, and like I said, more than 110 clients all over the world. Now, what do we see from an evolution in the banking world? If you look to the activities years ago, it was payments, and payments used as to facilitate customers to pay and to make it labor or less labor intensive for the banking. So we moved from e-commerce to m-commerce. You have e-banking, now you have NFC, you have mobile payments. A lot of new activities are starting and moving on in the payment schemes, because by the end it's all about payments. So we think that the banking world is even a little bit more than an evolution. It could be a revolution, certainly if you look from payment perspective. Now, what do customers of banks want? First of all, they say, okay, 20% we want to use mobiles, because everyone is using his mobile. 52 say we want to have a better application on our banking. It's nice to have it, but let's please make it more convenient for us. And 85% they say we want to have it, but all in one. We want to use one device which can be for everything, meaning not only the mobile banking, not only the web banking, but certainly that we can use it to do payments, that we can use it to consult, and that should it be also, of course, a safe device what can be used. Now, if you look to that, what is the challenge as a banker? First of all, you have your services which you need to give to your customers. You want to have one common branding, that the client knows which bank he is using, that he can use all devices, that he will see the same name, the same brand on all his devices. And for the banks, I think most important is this customer-centric. A bank wants to know from his customers what are they doing, what are they buying, what are they using, where are they spending their money, and how can we utilize and make it better, but also to have this loyalty from the clients to the bank. All the products should be online, so no way that you can have still paperwork. Of course, if you need, for a legal point of view, some paperwork, it will and it need to be, but for the rest, customers want to have everything online, as easy as possible, user-friendly, and that they can make it quick and easy. Also, there is no timeline anymore of behavior. Clients can go online, can buy 24/7. So it's not that only during the day when shops are open that clients will use their cards or payment tools. They need to have the access 24/7, let's say every time they want to spend money. And you need to have integration with third parties. A bank is not anymore a stand-alone solution or a party. There are interfaces with telcos, there are interfaces with payment hubs, whatever. It's necessary to make your client life easier and certainly to attract him with loyalty. Now, if you talk about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, depending on the regions, everything was magnetic. Then the market moved to EMV. We have debit, we have credit, more and more installments triggered by payments, not anymore by consumer credit. You have commercial cards, you have your interactive ATMs, whatever. Then, as we all know, the last 4 or 5 years, more and more virtual cards, one-time passwords, prepaid. The new trend, as you know, the display card, where you have this one-time password embedded in your plastic. The paywaves and the pay passes were coming, and we see that banks are also pushing customers to go to the self-drive kiosks and to do more by themselves. Now we see this as Openway for us as our ecosystem. So we want to offer this all in one, and that's what we call the evolution of our products. So as you can see, you have this client-centric approach. You have your rules, you have your content of what you want to do, and all the different outside of the eco will become part of the ecosystem. So you need to interact with all these different interactive channels which can be used. Now, of course, this one from a banking perspective is important because a bank wants to know the behavior of its customers. So end of day, there will be a reconciliation of all activities which are going to happen in, call it customer relationship management tool, call it a database, call it whatever you want to call it, but it will be necessary because all this data will be analyzed to see the behavior of the clients. Now, the social network, certainly we cannot stop. 10 years ago, maybe no one was believing that something like Facebook or Twitter could take a lead in the world. If you see now, most of these social networks are, even for some people, putting the pressure and giving direction how to live. Now, from the service center, you can see that you have one single client. He will have some different products in a bank. And of course, there is always this personal data which is available. There is some protection, there are private laws, but still everything is stored in one database and can be controlled. Now, like we said, there is a management of all these different activities and products which should happen in one place. And the client wants one green button or another color, but one button to launch new services, to get access, and to be treated even as a VIP client for his banks. So, coming branding and unified customer interface, and of course, everything related to the social networks. Now, this one is the most important for a bank, where you can say, okay, customer-centric means that you can trigger your behavior and putting the right advertising which is following the behavior of your client. Meaning if you have a VIP client that he will go to the ATM, he put his card in, that he will see the right screens. Not the general screens, but it's more like welcoming your client again, giving personal advice, giving advertising which is very specific for him. Now, security, certainly with all the PCI, PADSS rules, it's one of the most important parts, not as a client, but certainly from the bank perspective and to protect the data of your client. Now, by the end, what is a bank looking to do? It's to increase the products he is selling to his clients. So it should be a center where you can target new sales to existing customers. It's much easier to sell to an existing than to get new clients on board. So all these services by the end will come to arrive to more sales to existing customers. Now, which is closer? It depends. Of course, you have the inner circle where you go more about widgets and mobile. You can have your ATMs or kiosk which you can use, and you have the social networks. Now, I think branches, and again depending on the region, but I can talk certainly about Europe, that branches are disappearing. Banks are cutting costs to close branches to get less people in the branches and have more automated activities. So depending on where you are, you can make your choice what will be best applicable as a vendor. Now, the new web portal we built recently, it's more like a personal web. So you will see when you activate or you go for yourself to your web portal that you will see customized messages. That indeed the message customer-centric will be applicable also on our web. All the rest you will see that certainly the consolidation of dynamic content, quite important. It's one client, he wants to be treated as one client. Not only what he spent with his card, but also what he has on his deposit, what he will have on his current account. All this will be centralized and coming to this user behavior. Now, the last one, and I saw it also in the previous presentation of Clear to Pay, where we make this difference between agile versus waterfall approach. We are also not believer that, and I don't know if you know these slides, they are coming from, one of the big 5 consultant companies. They say if years ago you were asking for getting that you will get something like that and you will pay 5 times the price. What we see as the agile approach is that you go step by step. Because looking to the different markets and looking to the environment we are dealing with, before you have a 3-year project coming to the end, there will be a lot of interactions and there will be a huge change and the price will not what it was initially. And also the time frame was different. So we say it's better to do step by step, not a big bank, but that you do, one project, you make an evaluation after this project to see what is the corrections we need to do. Are we still looking to come to that result or are we more looking to that result? And that's what we see certainly in a project approach, much more convenient for banks than to go for the initial waterfall where you take step by step and a combination. So that's my short overview about e-Volution. If you have any questions, we are on booth 29, so welcome. And if you have questions now, please feel free. Thank you.